Hi, I'm Sonia Ward from Harmony Success Solutions, and today I want to talk to you about abusive relationships. Um, I like to be totally transparent and share my experience directly and how sometimes when you are in abusive relationships, you become a co-producer of the abuse. What am I saying? I'm saying that initially when you are involved with someone and your relationship takes a turn and you are not prepared, you're shocked, and you could adopt the attitude or idea that the person made a mistake and they're sorry and they're going to change and not going to do it again. But an abuser is what an abuser is. An abuser is a hurt person that illustrates, orchestrates, and releases that hurt on others by creating painful events that never really stop, that never really go away, but they continue to resurface time and time again. And abuse comes in many packages, many formats, and many personalities, and many different ways. Abuse can be something that is physical, it could be mental, it could be spiritual, it can be emotional. At the end of the day, abuse is what it is. It is abuse. So if you have any form of relationship, and it doesn't really matter with whom it is, you can have friends that are abusive, you can have a mate that's abusive, you may have abusive behaviors, mannerisms, traits, but abuse is something that you do create to someone else, where you attack them, bully them, create hostile environments for them, create fear, antagonize, harass, and it can be done by using words or by using your physical body or using spiritual manipulation to abuse another person to try to control them. Abusers want to control people, victimize them, isolate them, and then create misery for them because they are living and experience pain. They off their pain by creating highs for themselves of bullying or abusing the next person. And my message simply is this: I've learned that sometimes we think that we can do things to make people better, that we can be patient enough for them to heal and be delivered. But an abuser is never delivered from being an abuser until the abuser stands up and says, I'm abusive, I'm an abuser, I have abused you, I need help, and I'm going to get it. And I'm going to pull away until I can get delivered from the stronghold that is on my life that's causing me to create painful events for someone else that doesn't necessarily deserve it. And at the end of the day, no matter who you are, where you are, what you're doing, what you've done, where you've been, you don't deserve to be abused. No one deserves it. And so I recognize and realize a pattern in my life because I grew up in a household where abuse was the norm. You know, children do need to be disciplined, and sometimes, you spare the rod, you spoil a child. It may require punishment where something's taken away, or there's time out or time to yourself, or 2 weeks, no going outside, no television. Sometimes you get a spanking, understandable. But abuse is abuse, and when you bully and abuse and cause someone to be injured in their mind, body, or spirit, you are abusing them. And so I grew up where it was the norm, and my parents got into fights frequently and often. I talk about it in my book, Fear is Not My Boss, and I understand the dynamic of it, and I understand the difficult decision it takes to change something that you're used to, or something that you believe in, or that you have great hope for. And because of the person who is in pain, i.e. the abuser, you tolerate more than you should. And through tolerating it, I've come to learn that you don't help them, you hurt them, you hinder them, you handicap them, you make hope for them to be healed and delivered very grim, because the more you allow them to abuse you, the higher they get, the better it feels. They enjoy the chemical release in their body that they get from victimizing the victims. And so back to initially, when it first happens, you are a victim. But after a while, you become a volunteer. When you just continue to stay into a situation that's not changing, you become a volunteer. Therefore, you're a co-abuser. You are self-abusive. And I had to realize that I was a co-abuser, that I was abusing myself by allowing someone else to abuse me. And then I had to recognize and realize, although I was strong, in my professional right, in my career, my work, with helping others, when it came to people that I love, friends and family, and in my relationship, I allowed some things that were simply not acceptable. And so I had to go, why do I allow this pattern and trend to recircumvent, recirculate, revisit, just become a revolving door in my life? How does this happen to a person, of my strength, and of my belief system, and particularly what I do for a living? So I had to realize something. People cannot be changed. They have to want to be changed, and they have to do the work to change. Period. They have to have the desire to make that difference in their life. And until they reach a place where they want to change, you can't change them. I can't change them. We can't change them. That is a very personal fight and struggle. You can pray for a person and remain positive and not fuel the fire, but you cannot allow yourself to stay in a situation that does not treat you as a flower that you are. We are flowers. And one of the greatest examples a friend shared with me is like, anyone that's in your life should cause your flower to stand strong and beautiful, and the colors to be vibrant and bright. But if they cause you to wither, and she was looking for the word, she was saying, it causes your flower to just shrink. If it causes your petals to wither and to droop, they're not supposed to be in your garden. If you want your garden to continue to spring up with life, you've got to get rid of the weeds. And the weeds are the abusers in your life. And most people who are abused don't wind up being abused by one person. They wind up being abused by many people. I found myself being abused by many people because my tolerance for pain was just way up here somewhere. And things that hurt, you do not have to tolerate, and you should not tolerate. This is part one of my discussion on recognizing the abusers in your life, recognizing yourself as a partaker of self-abuse, and beginning to really look at yourself and decide, I deserve better, I'm worth more, and if nothing is the difference, nothing is the better and the more. It means like if it's a relationship and it means you're going to be alone, that's your better and that's your more. Alone is not less. There's nothing worse than allowing someone to take advantage of you and abuse you and diminish your self perception and to hamper your joy and your peace. So this is my first discussion on this. This is something that I've pondered on talking about, and today's the day where I start. And I'm beginning with me. And I want to tell you that I'm taking a vow in a position, in a stance, that I will not accept it, not another day. And I pray that you have the power, the strength, and the wherewithal to do the same. You are better than that. Bless you. I'm Sonia Ward from Harmony Success Solutions.